conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
You're listening to Believe You Me with Michael the Count Bisping and Paul Felder.
Back with the Believe You Me podcast. We have one heck. I'll say heck. I get criticized for saying hell, but we have one heck or hell of a show, goddamn show even today. We have the victorious at the weekend, Steve Garcia joining the show. We have the one and only Jiri Prochazka joining. We have Merab Dvalishvili joining the show. And of course, a lot of things to talk about at the fights, what happened at the weekend. We got Harrington and Bryan in the background. We got the Irish Dragon. We got the Iron Lung Paul Felder. And hopefully we got the believers in the background. How you doing, Paul?
I'm good, dude. I'm good. Excited to see that we had so many guests on the show. It's been a while. I feel like we're doing a good mix of when we have the time and the time seems right to get the right guests on. We get them. We got some big names again today.
Yeah.
And Steve, excited to talk to Steve. I haven't really had too many conversations with the guy. He's on a fucking roll right now. So he needs to be talked to.
Same here, man. 7 wins in a row, 6 stoppages. He's nasty. He's really nasty, and there's an intensity to him. I haven't spoken to him in depth. He obviously got that good win, and he had quite a powerful message on the microphone, so it'll be great to talk to him. Obviously, we had some controversies. We had the eye poke situation in the co-main, so we're going to talk about that. And then we also had, what else? Oh, geez, Louise, we got this gambling situation which is going on, which I don't know much about. I've ordered Mike Harrington to get all the facts and the stats and the info and the rumors and everything and try and extrapolate the truth from the nonsense, because there's a lot of stuff, a lot of wild accusations being thrown around on social media. How was your weekend? How was your Halloween, Paul?
Halloween was great. Took the kids trick-or-treating. They were dressed up. They had a good time. It was a slow turnout for like my area, which has quite a few kids in our little area. It's like 3 cul-de-sacs and then another neighborhood right off to the side of us too. So we got quite a bit of walking around and tons of Halloween candy to try to really slowly not eat all of when sitting watching movies at night with the wife is the real issue.
Paul, that's all well and good, right? But I don't really care. What did you dress up as? That's what we want.
So I got this blow up costume last minute from Target, last costume on the shelves. It looks like Frankenstein is picking me up and running with me. So he's like blow up behind me, and then the arms of what look like my arms are sticking out. And it was funny, but I only wore it for a little while because I'm bumping into everything. I'm knocking stuff over when I was wearing it. So I did the one big loop with the kids wearing it, and then that was it. We didn't even get a picture of all of us in costume, which is sad.
Well, I put a tweet out because I'm call me a bloody miserable sod if you like. When the kids were younger, we do Halloween, but they're grown now. They're 23, 22, and 15. Lucas went out. He dressed up. He went off with his buddies, and he had a hilarious costume. I should have sent a picture in. It was a female SpongeBob. So he was like a SpongeBob with he looked like he was going yodeling in Switzerland or something, but it was a female SpongeBob. It was pretty funny. I put a tweet out saying, okay, so how many adults are dressing up today? Yes, I'm so much fun, 24%. No, that's for children was 76%. And I always get called the grouch. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Right? The girls want to go out. They want to dress sexy. They want to get a bit of attention. They want to look like a good old fashioned whore.
Yeah.
Fill your boots.
Halloween in college was a very good time for that exact reason. And, as you guys know, I went to an art school. So it was, they went all out when they dressed scandally for Halloween. But hey, not everyone loves it. I get it. I've always been a big fan of Halloween. Christine's a huge Halloween fan. So I'm a big scary movie guy. So I get all into it, watching all that stuff leading up to it. So I'm an exception.
Movies are banned in this house.
You're not a scary movie guy, or your wife's not a scary
them. I like them. Yeah. One of my favorite films of all time is The Shining. Tell me you've seen The Shining.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Masterpiece.
Many times.
Masterpiece. But yeah, no, Rebecca doesn't like them. She's like, why would I want to choose to watch something that freaks me out and make me scared? I
like it. I like the feeling. I like the adrenaline.
But you're not going to get murdered. Okay. It's just a movie. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's start with this. I'll tell you what was really scary. Segue of the year. The eye poke situation. I mean, given what happened at UFC 321 with Tom Aspinall, right? So there's a lot to talk about. Obviously, for anyone that didn't see it, Waldo Cortes-Acosta going up against Tom Aspinall's teammate, who at media day said he didn't understand it because he'd had 33 professional fights and never poked anybody in the eye. In the first round, he backs up Waldo, unloads with a long, great, impressive, fast, powerful combination. Obviously, it was so fast we couldn't see in real time. Waldo's covering up like that. Referee steps in, right? Ante Delija's celebrating, and rightly so. He thinks he's won. He comes over to me, and he's going, "Yeah, you like that, brother?" And in our ear, they're saying,
"You're hearing
eye poke, eye poke." So I'm trying to tell him, I think it was an eye. I'm live on air. Brendan's talking. So I'm going, and he's going, yeah. And I'm like, no, bro, you haven't won.
You're going to be disappointed. You're going to be very disappointed.
They showed the replay. The replay clearly it did show an eye poke. Not intentional, once again, but sadly, this does happen. Bit of confusion. Waldo says he's good, right? And they restart the fight. And as we know, Waldo goes out, knocks him out cold, vicious right-hand counter, couple more ground and pound on the floor. Delija goes to sleep. Waldo Acosta, starts celebrating and all the rest of it. What was your take watching at home?
I was shocked that they decided to restart a fight that had been called off from a foul that they missed. What is the rule on all of this was my only confusion with this. Do I mind moving forward if we start to do something like this? I'm not even sure yet, because what if it goes the other way, right? Costa just eats all these shots, gets technically finished after the eye poke, which was a foul, 100%. Should have been stopped in the moment, but it wasn't. Then the fight's called off. What if he goes out there after that and eats more shots, gets KO'd again, and he can't see as well now? So now he's almost had 2 KOs in one fight. That's where MMA is different. You can't just say, oh, we'll go to instant replay and run it back. There's damage that these guys are taking when they go back out there with potentially blurred vision. However, that being said, whatever. I was riding the storm and I'm thinking, okay, we're going to restart this. This is uncharted territory. I've never heard of this happening before. But sure, fair play to him for sucking it up and trying to go out there. The fights, he gets a second chance at winning this fight. And then I lost my mind when he landed the shot. But then immediately felt awful for his opponent, thinking he had to go through all that too, all those ups and downs, all those emotions. I just want clarity on. So are we making stuff up as we go?
I don't think we're making stuff up, but Mark Ratner jumped on. Obviously, he's like head of the commission and the rules and official guidelines, if you will. All the referees were conferring. You know, there was a big conflab at the other side of the octagon.
Yeah.
They did the instant review. I guess when you see an eye poke, when you see a blatant eye poke like that, and his reaction was he was covering up. I like Ante Delija, by the way. I spoke to him a little bit in Paris, spoke to his team. Great dude. And he's an awesome guy. He did accidentally poke him in the eye.
It was 1,000%. Yeah.
But it does bring me back to just recently in Rio when Joel Alvarez dropped his opponent, right? And he claimed it was an eye poke, but he dropped him and the fight could have been over. But then they carried that one on. So if they're going to continue it there, right, then it should have gone the other way. When Joel Alvarez, he should have went, no, you got finished. You got dropped. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So that was fair. Exactly. Because that was a fair shot.
Yeah.
So it should have been like, oh, no, never mind. That fight is over. Whereas in this one, it makes more sense because it was a bad eye poke. It was a foul that we saw, that they saw the instant replay. I just hope that we're going to get some consistency, like you're saying, with the non-eye poke foul that happened in Brazil, where the fight gets to continue when it should have been stopped. And this one was stopped.
Let me speak, Paul. Let me speak.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Herb Dean has been making some comments. He said there is going to be some changes and some rules, and something's definitely going to happen regarding the eye pokes. So I'm going to reach out to Herb and see if we can get him on the podcast next week, because I think he'd be great to speak to, or Mark Goddard. We'll get one of those guys on the show. I did a little video afterwards for my YouTube channel because, and it did happen. I was like, Tom is going to get slaughtered for this. Even though it's got nothing to do with Tom Aspinall, and all eye pokes are different. You can have one eye poke, and this is, again, not me sticking up for Tom or anything like that. One eye poke can just kind of glance the eye ever so slightly, and that can be terrible. One eye poke can go all the way in, and they'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? So you can't look at them, and it's not apples for apples. You know what I'm saying? They're all very different, unique situations. But he did choose to continue. And he did get the knockout. And to credit to Waldo, as soon as the fight finished, he was back to doing this. And his eye was a mess afterwards. He was in a lot of pain, but he chose to fight. And of course, there was a lot of people like Jiri. We'll speak to him in a little bit. Jiri was like, well, who cares? I've got two eyes. You know what I mean? So, of course, there's Waldo. He changed his profile pic. Harrington, jump on. Let's get Harrington's take. And let's see what Harrington looks like today.
Well,
sounds good too.
Thank you, man.
You look like you're about to embark on a 3-day truck driving expedition across America.
Yeah, well, at the end of it, I need to arm wrestle for a big Volvo truck to get my son
over the top.
Yes.
So
I even got that one.
Thank you. I think my favorite thing that came out of this was, did you see Waldo Cortes-Acosta's new Instagram profile picture?
We just showed it, Harrington. Please, Brian.
I'm very sorry. I'm sorry. I was busy doing the research that you asked me to do in the other tab, going crazy, finding every detail about the situation. But
it's quite. We'll let you off.
Yeah. I liked his post-fight speech too, like where he really laid into Tom Aspinall a little bit.
Well, I mean, listen, that's what you do. He's trying to become the champion. And I'll tell you what, fair play to Waldo Cortes-Acosta because, respectfully, he came off the Contender Series. And I didn't think we'd see him in the position that he's at now. Let me just click on his record real quick. I mean, the man is 15 wins, 2 losses, 7 knockouts. He lost his first fight in the UFC or his hold on, was that UFC? No, he won his first 2 fights, lost 1 to Marcus Rogerio de Lima, went on a 5-fight win streak, dropped a close decision to Sergey Pavlovich, and then comes back and knocks out Ante Delija. I didn't think we'd be having these kind of conversations with him. Obviously, the man, for anyone that doesn't know, used to play baseball, used to throw a ball over 100 miles an hour. So he's got that right hand. That's the money shot. And holy shit, he delivered that perfectly. Ate a jab, immediately fires back. Incredible work, man. It really is. But bit of a crazy scenario.
Yeah, just chaos, right? And it's just wild too that just so recently after the Tom Aspinall Cyril Gane incident, then to have your teammate be the one that's involved in such a chaotic, controversial situation, it's one of those moments where you sit and you go, "What is he? How does this even happen?" It's what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, Michael.
It's uncanny. Yeah. Ironic.
Oh, that's good.
You see what I did there?
Ironic. Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
I saw it on Twitter.
But I jumped out of my couch and was screaming when he got that KO because that's wild to come back from a bad eye poke to get some nasty shots too, to recover from that. He stayed calm. He made sure he got his wits about him, got his eye clear, made sure he took enough time too so that you're recovering from the shots that you took to the head. And then he wasted no time as soon as his opponent was coming at him and he just landed that nasty right hand. I couldn't believe it because I even said to my buddy that was watching with me, I'm like, watch him come back and get this KO after that. And sure enough, that's exactly what he did.
Fair play to the guy. Fair play. And you know what? It was chaos and it was uncovered territory and all the rest of it. But also, that's kind of what makes this sport so bloody awesome. Do you know what I mean? Like, we got something to talk about today. In fact, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got 3 great guests. Steve Garcia in the main event. looked phenomenal. We're going to talk to him a little bit, so we'll save the chat for there. But earlier on in the fight card, and this is doing the rounds all over social media, Isaac Dulgarian went up against Jiri Prochazka. I think I'm saying that correct. Dulgarian is a really, really good wrestler. All the fights that he's had, for the most part, he's out-wrestled everyone so well. Jiri Prochazka is a Cuban guy with a judo background. He shoots in. But Delvalle is a big, strong dude, right? And he's a black belt in BJJ, stuffs the takedown, takes the back, gets the choke, okay? Then, apparently, all over social media, because I went to the airport with DC, I jump on my plane, we're waiting to take off, I'm looking at it, and there's all this talk about the fight being fixed. Someone from ESPN messaged me and said, that fight was fixed. I'm like, stop, what are you talking about? He said, look at social media. And then yesterday, I see that William Hill have refunded anyone that bet on Isaac Dulgarian. Well, you know for a fact, if bookies
are giving money back,
are giving money back, there's definitely something going on. I heard reports that the FBI are investigating, and this is what Harrington has been feverishly investigating. Harrington, please give us your findings.
So a ton of action came in on Isaac Dulgarian's opponent to win. Not only that, to win in the first round. And the sports books immediately flagged this. By the time it was coming down the card and it's place a bet right before the fight starts. Typically those fights are still on the board. I know from my personal experience on every book that I check, it was off the board entirely. So the books had taken it down before the fight actually started. But with that pattern coming in and the way that Dulgarian fought, it was pretty consistent with what the book saw as a questionable fight and decided to refund all losing bettors.
Yes, you just repeated everything I just said. You're fine. I thought there were going to be something good. You've been studying, you've been researching, you've not been paying attention to the show. It's fine, Harrington.
I was with my friend who gambles, right? Gambles on all this stuff, right? Loves to do the online betting, DraftKings, all that stuff. Nothing crazy, but always putting something on these kind of fights. And we watch the fights together all the time. Before that fight started, he was telling me, I'm hearing to bet Delvalle round one.
Really?
He said, and at first he was like, I heard maybe there's an injury or something like that. Well, I don't think it was an injury. I think it was exactly what we're suspecting, that it could be. Something shady seems to have gone on there. When money lines go like that, it isn't for no reason. Something has either been leaked, something has been put out there, and maybe it got a hold of the wrong people, and that's why it went way up and changed. Maybe it was something they were trying to keep shady and more people got a hold of it than they should have.
So if we cut to the chase, if what we're hearing is all true, okay, and this is still allegedly at this point, but if what we hear is true, he threw the fight. That's what we're saying here, right? He throws the fight. It was known going into that, and that's why people were throwing a ton of money on him. Number one, I'd be very interested to know what the amount of money is to trigger a sports book to go, whoa, this is unusual activity. I wonder how much. It must be a crazy spike as opposed to the normal kind of activity. Harrington, what you got, bud?
So they said that they have algorithms for all that, and they track it. Like they have an idea of what a normal amount should be bet across the entire platform on everything, especially for these lower level prelim fights. And when they saw that so much of their handle for the entire card was on these props, it raised red flags immediately.
See, Harrington, that's what I was looking for earlier. Okay. That's what I was looking for. You totally redeemed yourself.
Oh yeah.
He went from like a minus something big to down to like 130 by the time the fight was about to take place. So like a -4 something or 3, like high threes to like almost leveling out by the time the fight was going to happen. He was a big favorite going into that fight.
So this is what I was going to get to here, right? So he's 7-2 now. He was 7-1. He had one loss in the UFC to Christian Rodriguez by a split decision. He beat Francis Marshall, who's not an easy guy to beat. He beat him impressively in the first round. Loses a split, comes back, beats Brandon Marat, chokes him out in the second round. Really talented wrestler, very good fighter, young guy at the start of his career, and he has blown it. He has thrown all of that away. Number one, as a fighter, I just don't think I could do that physically.
No.
I just don't think I could bring myself to do that. And secondly, what kind of money do you think we're talking here to incentivize a fighter, a young fighter at the start of his career to do that?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. My mind even goes to darker places and thinks, who knows what his lifestyle is like outside of the cage? Does he owe somebody certain favors that people are capitalizing and using him to get what they need back? Again, that's me being the movie guy, the conspiracy theorist.
Right.
But for you to go out there and throw that, maybe you're in crazy debt, and somebody's like, "Listen, if you do this, and we get props on it, and we get the bet," I don't know, or maybe he was injured and it did leak.
Listen, in combat sports, there's a lot of shady characters, not necessarily involved in the sport. Certainly in this day and age, back in the early days, there was, but the fighters themselves come from very colorful backgrounds, and their extended fraternity, if you will. There can be a lot of criminals, a lot of gangsters, a lot of people that they're maybe connected to, involved in organized crime. I'm just speculating here. So it could have been something like that where he's in trouble and they're like, right, tell you what you can do for us. You throw this fight, we're going to stick a ton of money on it. You throw it and you're off the hook. Again, pure speculation.
All speculation.
Yeah, as you say.
All for entertainment and fun.
Yeah, but it's wild because he's apparently, I don't know if it's true, removed from the roster.
That's what I saw. And again, all speculation. We know nothing. I'm sure it'll be investigated, but even crazier, just to make it crazier, the fact that who his head coach used to be?
James Krause.
What the? That just is icing on the cake for everyone to start look. So even if it wasn't, the fact that you're now involved in this controversy and that's the gym that you've come from, it's just not a great look. Even if that has nothing to do with any of this, it doesn't help the situation whatsoever.
No, it certainly doesn't help given the guilty by association theory that might be thrown around. He was a standout wrestler at college, if I remember correctly. He's a young guy, start of his career. He's done. He's done. He'll never fight, I would guess, in a reputable mixed martial arts promotion ever again.
I wouldn't think so.
Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're under immense pressure, Paul, and someone's trying to not force you to do something, but you're kind of getting pressure to do something you didn't want to?
Not on that level, no. I mean, not that I can think of off the top of my head where I felt so in debt and behind that I needed to do something super shady like that. No, you?
It's just no. I'm just trying to think. I mean, obviously, I was involved with some heavy gangsters that used to manage me back in the day, and there was all kinds of shit going on. But there was nothing like that. I've got plenty of horror stories what happened in training camps and afterwards, and stuff going. My money going missing and sponsorships not getting paid, and people showing up at my mum's house and death threats and all kinds of shit. I've got plenty of stories like that. But never one where it's like getting involved in something where I've got to do this or do that. Shocking underdogs, big knockouts, and lightning fast submissions. That's the beauty of the UFC. Every card's got a fight, but the odds don't tell the whole story. And that's where the money's made at my bookie. This weekend's card is stacked with chances to do it again. And on my bookie, you get all the action, fight props, live betting, and boosts that turn good calls into big payouts. If you still haven't tried my bookie, what are you even doing? Use the code BELIEVE and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. It's insured. And if you miss, you get it right back with your bet back bonus. This is where you take your shot. Build your bankroll and roll into Sunday football with house money. You don't need luck when you've got the right book. Play my bookie. Remember, the code is BELIEVE. Yeah. Wow. That's a crazy story, man. And given the eye poke, it certainly was an entertaining night at the Apex. And I tell you what, so many people were talking shit about that card.
Always.
Hold on, let me look here. First fight of the night, rear naked choke. Then we had a decision. Then we had another decision and another decision. We had 3 decisions in a row. Then it was all finishes. Finish. Billy Alacana knocks out Kevin Christian. That's a mental. It's Cody Durden.
We got to talk about that fight too, because he had his shorts on backwards.
Who did?
Billy Alec. How do you say it again?
Did he really?
Yeah.
Who
he
was
got
the
called-
other guy? Was it Paulo Costa?
Vettori.
No, Marvin Vettori, baby.
Oh,
Yeah. In his photo shoot, at least by fight night, he figured it out. Elikana, poor bastard, because he goes out there and has an awesome win, and it's all these photos, and it's the venom on the front. That's supposed to be on the back, and the UFC on the front. We got a picture. Oh, all right, we got.
Oh, never mind that. We got one. We got the only. We got the Czechoslovakian samurai. We got one of my favorite fighters to ever compete in the sport. The one and only Jiri Prochazka. Let's go for that.
Let's go for that. Hello, guys. Hey,
man.
What's up?
Excited to talk to you, Jiri. It's been quite a while since we spoke, and you have just continued to do big things. Last time out against Jamal Hill, just another sensational fight, man. I love watching you compete. I can't miss one of your fights.
Thank you. That's a pleasure. That's no pleasure. That's
honor.
Thank you. That's honor to hear from you. But next time, tell me the right time, because right now I'm waiting for you 1 hour, because you told me 8:30 Prague time, and it is 9:30 right now. And I was in the bed right now, and I asked my girlfriend, man, which time is California time? Because Mike said 12. He have 12:30. You have 12:30 right now. Yeah.
Daylight savings time mess it up.
The clock's changed yesterday.
And I just watched on the phone which time is California time, 12:30, and I saw that, and 9:30, which is mine time right now. So I jumped here from bed, and here we are.
Oh man.
Well, as Paul mentioned there, Jiri, the clock's changed in America yesterday.
Yeah, that's right.
So my apologies, man.
Right,
Paul,
good,
ask the question because I'm going to hang my head in shame.
No, that's fine.
Jiri, I got to talk about the reaction that you had after your beautiful fight, and then you got to go in the crowd and you got to see the main event shakedown. And you're a guy that is just filled with emotion. Even watching somebody that you've competed against go out there and get a big win, what was going through your mind when you see somebody go out there and win the title back in that main event? What was going through your mind to see that happen? Because it looked like you were enjoying every second of it.
Man, I really enjoyed that. You know, I want to be. I just want to. I don't want to play something to the crowds, to whatever. And I know that they will count. They will. They cam me. They cam me with the cameras.
Yeah.
So I already knew that, but I was just natural, and I was happy that I saw. Not happy, but I was glad to see. Because a lot of talking from Ankalaev about me and all of this, and what I saw there in the cage, I saw the fire in the Alex eyes, that he really wanted that. He really wanted to win. Really wanted to win. That's something what I needed to be in the start of the fight when I fought. Khalil Roundtree, because I start with that in the third round, and so I was happy to see that, and I was happy that he won. For me, it doesn't matter if he whatever is story between us. So I was just happy, and also in the same time I realized, man, there is a potential third fight between us, and right now I beat the
Jamal.
Beat the Khalil. Yeah, Khalil. So I'm right now. I stepped to the first position to challenge the champion. So that was my attitude to, man, there is a third fight, and third fight for me with a fight like him, that mean everything.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that in just a second, because I do want to ask you about that, and I want to talk to you about potentially moving to middleweight. But against Khalil Roundtree, he's a very good fighter. He's very, very technical. Yeah. And it seemed like you kind of, I don't know, struggling to find the rhythm in the round 1 and 2. And then in the third round, you were just like, to use your expression, all right, let's go for it. Let's just do it. Who gives a shit? Let's go. It's do or die. Because you went at him, and the amount of punches and kicks and elbows and body shots that you threw, it was just a non-stop attack. What was your mindset at the start of the third round? Did you know that maybe you were behind on the scorecards and you had to get a knockout? I mean, did you just think, screw it, fuck it, I don't care, let's go?
Yeah. I knew that from the first round. Let's speak about the first 2 rounds, because I tried to find the best setup to end him, to find some smart setup, to find a clean way where to catch him, where to find a best way to catch him, and how I saw him. I saw him in these 2 rounds, like he's so dynamic. He's just waiting for my attack. He wants to counter me. So I just have to just keep working on him. So, and in third round, my coaches told me, man, you have to knock him out. You have to knock him out. That will be you. Then you will win the fight. And then I put myself to the just one way. Let's do that, and I will find a way. Let's do that by the pressure, because he used 200% of dynamic for every attack, every response for my attack. And logically, if you're going for 100% of dynamic every time, your endurance will go down after some time. So I just tried. So I understand. I realized this. So I just tried to push him more, a little bit more, and make the tempo a little bit higher, and there will be like little bit same, like with in his first his first fight with Alex Pereira, because Alex pushed him to the limit of the physical limits a little bit, and there everybody saw just he's not so precise. The punches are not so strong, dynamic, not so fast. So yeah, that was the key.
And you were saying, Jiri, when you watched Alex Pereira and you saw him kind of come out with that energy right off the bat in the beginning, are you saying that kind of inspired you to want to bring that kind of pressure in your next fight and kind of get started earlier with that same energy? Is that what you were saying earlier?
Yeah, I'm working with that. I'm working with that all my life. But and many times I learned that I need to start a little bit earlier to have maybe more energetical preparation in the before the fight with the coaches, and but there is nothing realist than the fight itself. So I just need really dangerous challenge face to face, and or the price what I really want to take, and then I will every time.
Am I understanding this correct?
In full power.
Because it seems, I kind of think this, and I think this is what maybe you're saying. You know, when we fight, we go out there and we try and be technical, and we look at our opponents and we read the rhythm, and we're doing this, and the coaches say hands up and this and that, and blah, 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 blah. And we got to be technical, and we got to do what the coaches say and all the rest of it. So you were trying to do that, to be more refined. But then after a while, you're just like, this is not my style. My style is I'm coming to fucking kill you. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go for it. And when you did that, that worked. Is that right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But Mike, and I'm trying to, every time to control that, because when I release that in a full power from this in the start, I will be uncontrolled and chained totally. So I'm trying all the time to control this animal inside of me. So that's it.
Because that's, I'm sure Paul will agree. At the start of my career, I was like, I would knock everyone out. And then towards the end of my career, I think I got a little too technical where I was trying to find openings and read the rhythms as opposed to going forward and being aggressive. And yet you got to find the right balance. But it's very hard because sometimes you go too far that way.
That's right.
It takes you away from what made you so successful in the first place.
Precisely. Yeah, you said that. Yeah, that's right.
You're a guy that you're authentically yourself through and through, right? And people are starting to freaking love it. Do you get that? Are fans constantly just telling you how much they love you, that you're like watching a video game, that you're, you have this energy about you and this respect as well in the martial arts? And we asked some of the fans too on questions that they wanted us to ask you. And one of the people was talking about, who are some other guys that you look to in the UFC or in fighting in general that you respect their martial arts energy and who they are as a fighter? Who do you look up to or like to watch fight, Jiri?
And higher as higher you go in your career, or to be famous, or whatever, you just need to be more yourself to keep your focus inside yourself and be just you, just show who you are, because everybody, I love it too on some my favorite fighters or my favorite athletes, that somebody is authentic, and I have many time I have a problem to be too much the samurai guy, to speak too much like correctly and do the right moves and be straight and all these things. And I think all these things, what we already have, what we are looking for, we already have inside ourselves. So we just have to be just ourselves. And me, like personally, I don't looking for every right now. My favorite, who's my favorite character, is in my vision myself in the future.
Hey, there you go.
Like myself as a champion, myself as a true man, and the man who's the leader for my people, and just be right guy. Yeah, do the good for your people.
And that's what I respect about you so much, Jiri, because you do talk about fighting like a man, and really respecting the honor of battle and things like that. Given what happened last week between Ciryl Gane and Tom Aspinall, and then at the weekend, we had another situation with Waldo Cortes-Acosta. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that?
No.
There was a fight at the weekend where a guy got poked in the eye, and then he carried on and he knocked his opponent out. And I saw a clip of you doing the rounds, and you said, well, someone pokes me in the eye. I have another eye. And I loved it. Yeah, just like me. What is your opinion on this whole poking people in the eye situation? What do you make of all of this?
I really don't know how much it was in a Thomas Pinal with the Ciryl Gane fight. So I don't want to speak, because sometimes it's serious, sometimes it's like that. But as I know this situation, and I I knew that from many situations happened in my fight many times. I poke or kicks to the balls or whatever, every time, like some bullshit things. There was many times the break, and you are okay, or so waiting. So there was a waiting, and like my opinion. I want to finish the fight. I want to win. I want to win the fight. I don't know how. Give me just a little time. I will recover myself, or I will fight like I will use more my intuition or whatever. But I want to finish the fight. I want to win. And all the people came to see this fight, especially the main event.
Yeah.
So, but maybe Tom started too much to calculate about. Maybe it's not too good to fight him. Maybe next time I will be better prepared, or if something happened and he will win. Whatever. That's just maybe about the mind, yeah. Because you start to think in this situation, how it can change the fight. So I really don't know. Maybe it was so serious in that. Ask Tom. So ask Tom.
I imagine if I saw you get poked in the eye, Jiri, I imagine you know the movie Bloodsport.
Yeah.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
And you would I feel like you'd sense it. You'd be out there. You'd use your cheese.
That would be a dream for Jiri. Jiri would be like, this is perfect. This is fucking perfect. I get to be Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport, and I'm going to knock this guy out.
Oh, yeah. Maybe using the referee, Michael, to put him in front. Remember the guy tried to throw the referee at him? He knew that. It'd be amazing.
Jiri, what were some of your favorite martial art movies growing up?
All these Bloodsport, Kickboxer, with all.
I love Kickboxer.
Kickboxer is great fun. The new one, there was a new one. I think it's not too old. The Never Back Down from 2007-8, and it was the story for me. Like his father was gone, and the young guy tried to find himself in the fighting on the high school, and that was something what was like I was really in. So and it was about the MMA. So it started to come the new age fighting. So this a lot of fighting with Jean-Claude Van Damme, man, Jackie Chan, that's Jet Li, Unchained, man, all these movies, man. That
I was actually in Never Back Down 4. I don't think anybody saw it though. Not a lot of people saw it. Is that something you'd like to do, Jiri? Do some action films?
Yeah, watch them. Yeah, watch them. Or do?
Yeah.
Would you like to be in them?
Maybe, but I really like to be. Every time when we camp something, I really like to little direct it, and I like to do that. No, I don't like to do that, and I think this will be better. This will be, and I'm changing a little bit all these things. So maybe,
because anytime I've done an action scene, I've always been able to, with the fight choreographer, say, "Hey, no, that doesn't work. I wouldn't do that. That's unbelievable," and they hate me. They hate me, but then in the end, they're like, "Yeah, that was right. That was the right move." Paul.
Yeah. Just in terms of, we were talking about it before, where you're thinking about switching weight classes. Where are you at right now, Jiri? Especially what if Pereira moves up and he fights John Jones? Is there anybody else that you'd want to fight? What's on the horizon for you, and how are you trying to kind of anticipate the future for you in fighting right now?
Right now, like I said, after my fight, and don't want to change my attitude. like after week after week after week. I'm all the time the keeping the same. So for me right now, I want to fight with Alex Pereira, third fight. That's all. That's my opinion. Everybody talks about him and Jones. If that will be the plan or next fight, I wish him the best, or let the better win. So next move, I want to fight for the title, and for me it doesn't matter who will be the opponent.
I think you got a really good chance of being involved in several more title fights. You're one of the biggest stars in the organization. You're certainly one of the most exciting fighters. So I think you're going to get that. If you were to fight Alex Pereira, obviously you've been in there with him twice. I know, they didn't go your way, but is there something that you can identify that maybe you did wrong? Maybe a mistake that you made? Did you give him too much respect? Did you not, did you not value his power as much? Is there anything that you think you did wrong?
Man, it was nothing especially before the fight, but there was the both preparation for him. I had a staph infection. So the preparation was totally not good preparation before the fight. A lot of some injuries. So every time and the second fight was the short notice, like 2 weeks before. So every time I fought him, there was something every time was not so good. So and. This is not the reason I want to speak about. Like, that was the main mistake. But I really believe if I will have the right preparation and time to fight him, right now I have a lot of learn from our 2 fights. Doesn't matter. Like, you would think. Let everybody think about this idea or this fight, whatever they want. I believe I will win.
Middleweight, though. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go with the middleweight.
No, I was going to say, I know you talked about middleweight. I've been with you. I've spoke to you. You're a big guy, but Alex Pereira is gigantic. And if Alex can make 185 pounds, pretty sure you could make 185 pounds.
He's gigantic, and he's gigantic, and I'm stand-up guy, and I in both fights I took him down. So
yeah. But when you look at 185 pounds, I would think, given your resume, maybe you would get an immediate title fight, or maybe you had to have one fight to establish yourself at middleweight. Who would be a dream opponent for you when you look at the middleweight division?
Man, I answered for this question about the middleweight. I will go there, but I will go there if I will win the fight, the title fight in the light heavyweight.
No, so you don't want to drop until you're done at light heavyweight, Jiri. Okay, that clears that.
That's the point. That's the point, and that's why I'm speaking about that. Why I want to really bring the belt back to Czech Republic.
Nice.
That takes balls, man. You don't want easier challenges. You want to finish the mission that you started, and then do another mission. That's amazing. It's Christmas soon around the world. Talk to me about Christmas in the Czech Republic, and what will Jiri Prochazka be doing over Christmas? Because I know you do in your spare time. You're doing some crazy stuff, man, and I love seeing like all the meditation and the ice baths and all the crazy stuff that you do. How does Jiri Prochazka spend Christmas?
Spending with the family. Really love the Christmas time, but because everywhere in all the world is time. And everybody knows the Christmas time is all about to be nice to others, and to feel safe everywhere. to feel great, and I just want to spend the time with my family, maybe a little bit in the nature, in my cottage, and train naked in the nature. Yeah, in my.
There we go. Come on.
And
Why naked? Why naked? You got to get the balls on the leaves.
maybe I will take a shorts, but but I have my like in my garden I have my forest dojo, so I'm training there, and I really love like especially the winter days, because at home there's a fire in the how to say in the fireplace. Yeah, fireplace. In a fireplace. So outside is I really like these both these changes of the warm and hot and contrast. Yeah, these cold and hot. Yeah. So every time I'm waking up in the morning, I'm going out, I'm training outside in my forest dojo, and then I'm going back to next to my fireplace and spend the time with the family.
Jiri, I have one more question. And some people wanted to know this too online. How much time do you spend in like a traditional gym setting with on the mats, training with other athletes versus the forest dojo or things like that? And I'm not going, and I'm not, and no critique on it, but how much of it is like traditional in the gym on the mats doing that versus outside and doing Jiri Prochazka things?
Mainly, I need to spend a time in the nature and train myself, my limits, my technique, my vision about my technique and myself before the fight, or when is the time before the preparation. When the preparation started, 2 months to the fight, I'm in the gym, in the gym with the coaches, with the sparring partners. Man, don't take me as I'm just training in the forest.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Shadow boxing
That
trees.
will be, man. I can't be on the highest level of the martial arts if I train just there. But
in the wood.
But man, realize, and this is the main point of all of that. Realize that all the fighters, when they step in the cage, every time is about self-belief. It's about self-belief, to believe in your technique, in your every move, in your instinct, in everything you are doing in the cage and before the cage, your workout, everything, you speaking, everything. So that's why I'm spending the time just with myself, to be close to myself, to be close to the quiet place inside of yourself, to know it the best, and then you can face whoever, whatever.
No, that's so well said. And that goes for anything in life, not just in fighting. Whatever you're doing, you got to believe in yourself. You got to have that faith that you can achieve it. You're 33 years old. You're still a very young man. You've had 32 professional victories, 31 stoppages. So whatever you're believing in, Jiri, is working out. The lady in the background, is that your wife, your girlfriend?
My girlfriend, yeah. That's right.
Can we say hello or no?
I'm sleeping right now.
She's not camera ready.
I just jumped from the bed and give the phone here. And
I get it.
Yeah.
No, my wife would say no. I haven't got my makeup on and stuff. You know. What is a traditional meal in Czechoslovakia? When you get home, you know, like you go to America, you'll have your burgers and your steak and all the rest of it. When you get home and you're in the forest, what do you like to eat?
Yeah. You know, our Czech kitchen is so so tasty, so nice, so good, but fucking not healthy 100%. So I'm eating just in my direction. So I'm eating the rice, chicken. Chicken.
We got to ask you about that. Yuri, I saw a post from you where you had a nice plate of food, but there was 2 halves of an onion just raw on there. Is that something you do on the regular? Just raw onion like that? Do you see that, Michael?
Yeah.
Other than that, it looks delicious.
Yeah. It's some
Good for you.
After some workout or after the morning routine. This is a really good breakfast or dinner. Yeah, so there was on the photograph there was a tuna salad, tuna Caesar salad, and five sunny side up eggs and two and one big onion like on the half, and and next day I gave the photo with the garlic. So next day I change the onion for the garlic, and it's a really good antibiotics. So
yeah,
it's
100%.
Good immunity and all of that. So.
Listen, thank you so much for your time, Jiri. And again, I'm a huge fan. Last question. After, I forget which fight it was, maybe when you fought Jamal Hill, you said that you had a couple of guys in your room and you know the bit what I'm talking about, and you were going to show them a really good time. That was so, because obviously, people misunderstood, but that was hilarious.
Yeah, thank you.
About that.
Thank you. Everybody's making fun from that, and I had a 33 like 2 weeks back, 33-year-old 2 weeks back, and birthday, and these days these guys just showed me that they can push that party to another level, and I thought like I am the one who's thinking about these bad things on the party and doing but these guys, my friends are crazy. So
hey, keep
those guys
like
around.
A good time.
One time I would take some camera guy with us. So.
Yeah. Maybe no cameras for those parties, though.
That's right.
Jiri, good luck in everything going forward. No doubt our paths will cross soon. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't ever change. You're authentic. You're original. Everyone's trying to do the same shit, and you're out there being you. And I love it. Thanks for your time, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Stay safe.
Us. The man's an original.
He is.
He is the man.
He is the man. And he's so right about that, the mental preparation, and however you got to do it, it doesn't have to be the forest for everybody, right? That's Jiri. That's what he loves to do. But having those quiet moments to yourself, especially in camp when you're at the highest level in mixed martial arts, to take those moments to meditate or train by yourself or just even go somewhere and just contemplate and get that mental fortitude strong is important. And man, but it's funny to hear him say, like, look, I'm not just in the forest training. Yeah. It's good to hear, because there's some people out there that are probably thinking, does he even get into the gym? And it's obvious he does.
Yeah, of course. And hey, him at middleweight as well would be
scary.
I mean, Khamzat Chimaev is a problem for anyone, but outside of Khamzat, I think he would
do some.
He'd have a lot of success. I don't want to be disrespectful to the middleweight division, but he would have a lot of success. As I said, Pereira made it. If Pereira can make it, Jiri can make it. But I just don't think necessarily in his biological structure where he wants to cut weight so much so he can take on smaller guys. He wants the biggest challenges, which again, I love. All right, this episode is sponsored by Small Batch Cigar. Now, listen, if you want great cigars delivered to your doorstep within 2 to 3 days, and we're talking hard-to-find cigars of the highest quality, do you want to make sure that there's a Boveda pack in there to make sure that they don't turn up all soggy, with an abundance of bubble wrap and plastic wrap to reduce damage? Well, listen, if that's what you're looking for, then Small Batch Cigar has got you covered. As I said, there's a Boveda pack in every package to ensure freshness. Customers get 5% reward points on almost every single order. They have the limited cigar of the month club, where you're going to find some absolute incredible cigars that are extremely rare and hard to find. By the way, they're also proud of being a Davidoff Hall of Fame retailer, but that isn't who they are. They are America's favorite online tobacconists because they offer the best customer experience on the planet, the customer service that every cigar enthusiast deserves. Believe 10 is the discount, so you get 10% off and you get 5% reward points, free shipping on every single order they deliver to the continental United States in just 2 to 3 days. You want it, they've got it. Believe 10 is the discount code for 10% off. And as I say, you can get up to 5% in reward points. Smallbatchcigar.com has been the destination for boutique cigar enthusiasts for over a decade, servicing tens of thousands nationwide. Small Batch Cigar is the online extension of Maximar Ultimate Cigars, providing the same luxurious cigar experience of their brick and mortar store in Southern California to enthusiasts from coast to coast. Brian Harrington, we should have Steve Garcia right now. Maybe there was a little bit of confusion with the times, unless he's lurking in the background, but no doubt he'll probably jump on soon. He just had a big win at the weekend. Maybe he's still in bed. Harrington, are you there, sir?
I am here. What's up, Mr. Bisping?
Yeah. We talked about what happened at the fights. We don't need to get back into all that stuff. What else are the other big stories right now? Well, obviously, this is a big one, actually. Jake Paul supposed to be fighting Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis, from what I understand, has been, I don't know. I don't know what the charge was or the investigation. What is it, Harrington?
So I believe it's that he's being sued for domestic violence. And because that lawsuit is ongoing, Netflix has distanced themselves.
So now he's going to fight Francis Ngannou.
Well, that's one of the names that he called out. He also said that he reached out to Nate Diaz, among many others.
Nate Diaz. So to go from a 135-pound opponent, which we've talked about before, to go to Francis Ngannou. And there was talk of Anthony Joshua before as well. And I don't want to turn this into a whole Jake Paul thing, but it was kind of crazy.
So I'm remembering the names now. It was calls were made to Anthony Joshua, Nate Diaz, and Terrence Bud Crawford.
Okay.
Crawford's still, I mean, I don't care how small Crawford is.
No.
He'd be a motherfucker to fight.
Well, he ain't going to get Crawford.
No, he's at the top of the game. He just beat Canelo. Like, you can make those offers all you want, but how serious are them, right? You call Francis too. It's like, I'd love to see that. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Get in there with big old Francis.
Anyway, we're a hard-hitting mixed martial arts show, so we don't talk about tittle-tattle
nonsense
like that. We only talk about real fighters. So we've got to talk about this. KSI is no longer the CEO of Misfits. He's now being replaced by Andrew Tate, who will be fighting for the company's heavyweight championship later this year. And that was a joke, by the way. This is kind of a joke that we're even talking about Andrew Tate, but the man did used to kickbox a little bit. I know you've done a deep dive on his techniques before, where he went out and sparred 100 men in one day. I mean, Andrew Tate's coming back to the combat sports world. This is a big day, guys.
It's a big, big day. Must be talked about. That's, we kind of joke about that. We're just this traveling circus with the UFC when we're on the road doing all this. That must truly be the traveling circus of traveling circuses. That whole Misfits, all that nonsense. I mean, Andrew Tate, how old is he now? Almost 40. Is he 40? Under 40? Over 40? Anyway,
I don't know.
Everyone always brings up his credentials to me when they want to rip on me because of that post that I did about him sparring those 100 dudes. But I mean, what level did he really? I saw somebody post it recently of him getting like punched in the face and quitting in one of his kickboxing matches. So for being a big alpha male, that was kind of a pussy move.
Oh yeah, definitely a little beta. I will say this though, Nancy, we were talking about that. I mean, my old Thai boxing coach used to have him on some of his events. He said he's legit. He did. He said he can definitely fight. So it'll be interesting to see if he's going to step up. And the problem is when you're someone like Andrew Tate, that is so infamous and he certainly seems to have plenty of money as well. It's kind of a lose-lose situation. Obviously, he's got a lot to say online. A lot of it is crazy. I'll be honest, some of it I agree with. He does make some solid points here and there, and he makes some wild, stupid-ass comments as well. So, we're not going to get into the details, but we're certainly not going to break it down much more than that. It was just a fun segue. I wasn't going to bring it up. I'm like, we only talk about serious stuff, and I looked on the notes and I saw KSI. So I had to go with the segue. But we will talk about this. Brian, play video number 1 in the link of the MMA news. There was a dirty boxing event at the weekend, which is Mike Perry's promotion, I believe. And
can't wait to see you compete the White House. Can't wait to see it.
I know. I really hope it happens. Dana, bro, please, I'm training. I feel great. I'm healthy. And I'd be so honored to represent our country and do what I do best.
Thoughts?
I think he really wants to do it. I think he is really trying to actually get that fight. And, I think John is kind of a mastermind in his own crazy way, right? He does some outlandish shit, but when it comes to kind of waiting for the right moments to spring back up and to get back into action, he's patient. He doesn't care about sitting on the sidelines and having people kind of talk shit about him and bash him for ducking people. Then it's like, oh, the Alex Pereira fight might make sense. Oh, the White House is coming up, out of retirement. I'm back. And I think the UFC is just testing him and really kind of making sure that he's going to get in the gym. He's going to be training. He's going to be committed to it. I think we're going to see John Jones fighting at the White House.
Oh, really? Really? I don't know about that, but here's what I would say, and maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Say, okay, send him a contract for Tom Aspinall. So that you want to fight? There you go. You were supposed to fight last year. I mean, it's pretty simple. Obviously, there's the whole Cyril Gahn situation and the mess there. But if I'm running the organization, I'll say, yeah, okay, you want to come back at heavyweight? There you go. There's the fight that was promoted. There's the fight that was spoke about. There's the fight that you ducked, or whatever you want to call it, whatever terminology you want to use. You want to come back, have that fight. And obviously, there's the whole talk of Pereira. But I just don't know, like, not fighting Tom when he's the champ and then retiring and coming back and fighting someone else
who's not a champion. I think you're right. I think that's where it becomes a big loophole, because then what does Pereira do? Does he have to vacate the 205 belt to move up to heavyweight, which we've seen all these other fighters have to do in the last year, is if you're going to bump up and challenge for, and that's not even it. I guess he wouldn't though, because he's not challenging for another belt. It would just be a random super fight. But I agree that the Tom stuff is still unfinished business, but unfortunately he's got to settle his business with Cyril Gahn. If that can happen sooner than later, that is something they could do, Michael, where they could be like, all right, you can get that fight, but all right, we got Steve.
Steve.
What's up, boys?
So Paul was just talking there, and anytime I look at my phone whilst Paul's talking or whatever, I get accused of being ignorant and stuff. But I was like, I think I might have made a mistake. Did I tell you the wrong time, Steve?
Well, I told so I have a dude that's setting up all my interviews, and he's like, all right, you're with Bisping at 3. And I was like, 3, are you sure? It's like, because the time changed and all this stuff's going on. Yeah. And so when you texted me, I was like, shoot, I was like, maybe it's just 2. I was like, I'm just going to hop on right now. So sorry, I'm late.
No, don't be silly. Listen. Perfect. I did the same thing to Jiri Prochazka. We just had Jiri on as well. He was like, bro, I've been waiting for an hour. What is going on?
My bad.
He was in bed.
Steve, we both said at the start of this show when we started the show, we haven't really spoken to you too much, but man, we are fans of what you are doing in the octagon, Steve. You're now on 7 wins in a row, 6 stoppages. The way you fight, you just bring such an intensity to it. I love everything about your style. Congrats on the win at the weekend. Holy shit, man. You're doing big things.
Thank you, man. In order to follow guys like you guys, and you guys set the bar pretty damn high, I want to get the same type of credit one day that you guys get, the same recognition. And the only way I know how to do that is go out there and, fight my ass off. You know what I mean? So normally, finishers follow those type of performances.
We'll just chit chat along to a black screen for a minute till he comes, because that performance that he had against David Ornama, right? It wasn't just the finish. It wasn't just the power in the hands. He looked good. The head movement was phenomenal. The head was always moving. He cut off the cage really good. He was picking his shots. And David Onama's not an easy man to beat. He was on a 4-fight win streak.
Yeah.
Only had 2 losses in the UFC. He's strong. He hits hard. He's got a gas tank. He's got that dog in him. And I thought we might have been in for a lengthy fight there. And
I did too. I thought it was going to be a bit of a barn burner type fight, maybe fight of the night type situation between those 2 guys. Not back down from either one of them. And one of the things I loved that Steve did on Saturday night was he hurt Onama with his hands, right? Busted him up. But he didn't just do that. He started going to the body and stuff too. But we got him back. Did you get a phone call?
Yeah, I got a phone call. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we knew it. Happens all the time.
My bad.
We are very much used to this. We were just talking about your fight, Steve, and just saying how, obviously getting the first round stoppage is phenomenal, but it was how good you looked prior to that. The head movement, the way you were cutting off the cage, and the nasty intentions. Just talk to us about your experience beating David Onama on Saturday.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I feel like, things are kind of just clicking right now at the perfect time. That Cater fight, I just kind of felt like I just kind of like got comfortable, I guess, being in that cage. You know what I mean? For the most part, like when I go in there, I don't really feel that comfortable in there. Like it's almost like I want to do my job and get the hell out of there, right? So that's my normal like way of going into it. But when I fought Cater, and it's kind of the same feeling, which is how I felt with Onama, I'm just like, nah, we're gonna be here for a minute. You know what I mean? We're gonna do this real quick. You know what I mean? And not trying to like, brag, but I just felt really good in there, man. I felt like I could have fought anybody in the world, and they were gonna get pieced up. That's just how I felt.
Yeah, man, you did a great job. Again, Michael was talking about your head movement. You're always kind of staying out of the way of those shots, keeping your head off the center line. And what I love, Steve, too, is you're a guy that mixes up the targets really well, too. When you had him hurt, you had the wherewithal to stick those nasty front kicks to the gut, too. And that was right before the finishing sequence along the fence. Is that something you think about when you got guys hurt to the head? Do you like to mix it up to the body? And what's sparring like for you right now? You're at Jackson's, right?
Yeah, man.
Diego Brandao, was he in your corner?
Yeah, he was in my corner.
Is that somebody you spar with a lot?
Yes, dude. That is a freaking demon, bro.
I sparred with him years ago when I was up at that gym, and that dude is a killer. So just talk about the preparation for this, and again, you talk about a guy who wants to get out of there quick, but you seem so focused and dialed in. Most guys are headhunting in that situation, and you had the intelligence to stick to the body and hurt him because he's obviously going to be guarding the head. He's worried, he's wobbled, and you stuck him nasty with a front kick right up the middle.
Yeah, if you can, watch some other fights, you see that. I like that shot. That shot's one of my favorite ones. I think it complements my striking along with the stuff. I don't really attack the legs until I fight. There's moments where I feel like it's necessary, at least for my game, because obviously positioning, balance, and all that stuff like that. There's times where I'll let them go. You know what I mean? It just all pertains to what the game plan is, for that specific person. But a lot of people, I don't know. I just don't think they have the boxing and the understanding of range and where, slipping off of shots, countering off the shots. I just feel very comfortable in that type of situation. And so like when Max was over there fighting Cater, you know what I mean? He said he was the best boxer. It's a way that you feel when you're in there. You're just like, bro, like untouchable almost. And then once you find that groove and that rhythm, it's very, very hard. You're just locked in, man. It's just how you feel when you're going in there and you're just out there throwing shots and you're not even thinking about it. They're just coming out, just gunshots, and bullets just downrange. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I felt with Onama. But for me, I got to make sure that I get going right away. I don't like to give anybody time to feel me, because I think that's why I struggled early on in my career, because I just was so uncomfortable with the feel out process. I was like, bro, I got 15 minutes to put you away. Let's just get going from like the start of the bell. And that's how I've always fought. So I feel like I try to use that veteranness a little bit more to where I'm like, okay, we can get started quicker. We can be in someone's face quicker. But we don't have to go crazy and, guns blazing. I don't have to pull out the freaking bazookas right away. I can go out there and, start, you know, like I said, shooting downfield with some, you know, some smaller bullets, some smaller caliber bullets, you know?
Yeah.
The thing that I like about you, Steve, and I said intensity before, but another word that I think fits is you're nasty in there. You're a nasty fighter, man. And when we speak to you, you know, I mean, you got a smile on your face now, but fight week, you're very serious and you fucking, you know, if I was a lesser man, I might be intimidated.
Hey, nah, sir. No, sir.
Have you always been like that? Where does that come from? Because I know I spoke to you and your father in Singapore.
Yeah.
Your father's called Steve as well, right?
Yeah.
I remember having a chat with you guys there. Where does that come from? Like, when you were younger, were you always kind of this way? Like, were you involved in a lot of trouble as a child? I mean, what's your story?
Nah, man, I was like the total opposite, dude. I swear. Like, I was really timid. I didn't like confrontation. I didn't like problems. I was a ball player, bro. Like, that's what I did. I played baseball, played football. But as you grow up, you know, you start dealing with some things. You get into high school, and then now you're dealing with high school drama and high school problems. And then you start seeing, like, I start getting into some trouble, you know, start having to do with some dudes, and, you know, people wanted to jump me. There's a couple of different things that were going on, and you just kind of had to develop this ruggedness to you. And it just, in Albuquerque, it's going to catch up to you, bro. Like, either it's early on or it's later on, but it does. And so at that point, when people start like disrespecting you all the time, and people like don't take you seriously, or they think that you're nothing, it's like, bro, like, to hell with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of how I felt like even in my career, because for me, bro, like, I'm a normal human being, bro. Like, I don't have to walk around like looking like a fighter, bro. I'll go, I'll shake your hand, I'll smile, I'll pay for your meal. I don't even care. But for me, when you're disrespectful, when you're doing those type of antics, you know, around me, I don't like it. You know what I mean? And I think you develop this confidence, and after a while, you stop putting up with people's shit. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to. And you deal with a lot of it here. So maybe that's a little bit of why I've kind of developed, you know, that mentality, and I've translated it into my fighting, because I'm not that typical person that is usually just like always on edge. I'm not an edgy person. Maybe in camp, I don't know, but you know, you ask my wife on that one. But yeah, so when I walk in that cage, man, it is very intense for me. I gotta make it something to where it's a special moment. But bro, like, our special moments are literally facing another killer. So how do you wrap your mind around that? How do you connect the dots, and how do you psychologically lock in, right? I got to make sure that I get to a point where I'm like, bro, it's intense because I'm making it intense, because this is an intense moment. Someone else can just, man, it was just another fight. I'm like, bro, like, I don't see it that way. I'm like, this is life and death for me. You know what I mean? It's kill or be killed. Like, when I was fighting in there with Onama, I was prepared to die that night. Like, I know that as corny as that might sound, I was like, dude, I trained for 6 rounds, and I trained for a freaking war, because I know what he was capable of. I've seen his fights. I'm like, he's even more dangerous when he gets hurt. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready. You just got to lock in. But that's kind of where I guess all that stuff kind of develops and brews, for me at least, during the fight.
And that's what's so impressive about it, Steve, is that he is a guy that when he's hurt badly, he often comes back with a shot, hurts his opponent, and it becomes these wars. So to get him out of there really was an impressive moment for you. And it was the first main event. Talk to us about that too, right? You finally get put into this 5-round situation. You get to be on the poster. You get to finally start to see your hard work paying off and getting some recognition. And the Apex is becoming such a good platform for guys like yourself, where you're on these huge win streaks, but you know, you haven't really had the big stardom yet. You're not on the posters. You don't get this. How did that feel to finally be like, okay, I'm getting some recognitions. The UFC is recognizing that I'm a guy that's a problem at 145 pounds.
Dude, it's a special moment, man. I think, I don't know how many people can say they've actually headlined a card, man. Like, that's a feather in your cap, I think. And I'm truly blessed for that, because like I said, I don't know how many people actually can say they've actually done that. And I've now experienced that. It was a special moment. I was able to go out there, but I don't want to change too much. You know what I mean? I'm like, what has got me here? It's just keeping everything pretty much 100, keeping everything the same. Of course, the intensity of training camp was a little bit more, just because of the 5-round additive, you know, to the fight. But at the end of the day, these are goals, man, I've had for a long time. And I've always told my coaches, I was like, I train for 5 rounds because I want to be a 5-round fighter. Like I almost like spoke this before it actually happened. And so when sometimes Greg's adamant about doing like 3 rounds. He's like, if you are not like almost dying with 3 rounds, you didn't go hard enough.
Yes.
And so when he has this aspect, I'm like, coach, I was like, I got more. He says, you didn't go hard enough, Steve. And I'm like, I feel like I put a lot of pressure as it is, you know, in training. I do. The way I fight, you know, it correlates to how I fight in the cage. You know what I mean? So I'm on your ass. And he wants more. He wants more takedowns. He wants more. He just wants more volume sometimes. He just wants more. And so I was telling him, I was like, coach, I got more take. He said, then you didn't go hard enough. And I'm like, man. It's like, it's kind of hard when your coach is telling you that, right? And he always does it with the loving, you know, way, but, you know, it's still Greg, you know, and it's almost like a disappointment when you don't live up to that expectation. So when we go 5 rounds, I make sure I do it on Tuesdays, which is our big glove days. And Winky's like, bro, you can do 10. I don't care. You know what I mean? So I'll go and then I'll do 10 rounds if I need to, you know, and I'll do my weight class. Sometimes I'll pull out a couple amateurs or some people that want to do extra rounds. That's pretty much how I've always kind of operated. But when it comes to just the experience of the 5 rounds and the magnitude, I know it's at the apex and people don't really see it as the same. For me, it's still a big fight, man. That's a huge fight for me.
Listen, it's just a part of the evolution that a fighter goes on. You know, you work your way up, you get on a win streak, you become the main event, you get extra media attention. You've now got to do 5 rounds instead of 3 rounds. There's a lot more people that will know your name this Monday morning than last week. That's just the reality of it. Sure. And especially when you go out there and you get a first round knockout, because not only are the fans now on board, and I'm sure they were before, but you know what I'm saying, new fans, then the UFC are like, holy shit, this isn't an accident. This is a real pattern here. This guy's putting dudes away in the very first round. So very soon it's going to be, you know, you're knocking on the door of higher rankings and big name opponents, and you're getting closer and closer to a title. With that said, who is it that you wanted to fight next? I think you called out, was it Max Holloway on Saturday now, but then you changed it at the post-fight presser. Who did you call out?
Yeah, so everybody asked me what I really want. And I was like, honestly, because normally I'm like, it doesn't matter what I want. They just give me who they want. You know what I mean? So I was like, if I'm going to say anybody and who I want, and it might, you know, if something happens or whatever, but it'd be Max Holloway. Yeah, it would be Max Holloway. I want that BMF belt. That to me is one of those belts that just like you're a gunslinger. You're there life and death. You don't care. You're just gonna go out there and you're gonna just throw down for 5 rounds or however long with another killer, right? That's why I admire that like belt. I know some people don't like the significance of it, but I like that. But when it comes down to a realm of reality, the person that probably made more sense was probably Josh Emmett because he seems available. Everybody else, I'm hearing rumors that are being matched up already. And so I'm like, okay, well, the only person that seemed like that wasn't matched up that I haven't heard that, you know, maybe matched up is Josh Emmett. So I'm like, all right, let's do Josh Emmett. I know Yair's up there, but I think Yair's probably going to want to fight somewhere more closer to the top. So right now, you know, those are my 2 guys that if you told Steve, hey, bro, like, who do you want to fight? Those are 2 guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm looking at the rankings now, too. And so you're number 12 right now, Steve, right?
Yeah.
Number 12. I mean, Emmett, he's number 9. That gets you in the top 10. I'd love to see you 2 guys fight. Jean Silva's another one. He's number 10 himself.
Yeah.
That's
and yeah, I wouldn't mind fighting him either, but they're saying there's potential he might be matched up already.
I got you.
And
yeah.
so I was
that's
like,
the thing. It's all politics. And that's what people at home don't necessarily know. There's a lot more that goes into it than you just going out there and being like, I want so-and-so. If he's already got a fight, you got to think about fights that make sense for you.
It makes sense for me. And then on top of that, like, I'm not going to ask for somebody that I can't even get, you know? So I want to make sure that, like, if I'm going to call out, I'm not going to try to waste it. There's times where I don't mind wasting it. Everybody's like, dude, you wasted that call out with Max Holloway. I'm like, you don't ask me what I want. Don't ask me what I want then. You know what I mean? It's like, you need to call out the right person. I'm like, bro, then give me Josh Emmett. You know what I mean? Give me whoever's in my head. I got to fight them all one by one by one. Max Holloway did it. He had to fight 9 dudes to get to the top. Yeah. And in my head, I'm like, I've had to like mentally just prepare myself. I'm like, Steve, you're probably going to have to follow that same suit, that same pathway, that same blueprint to get where you want to be. I think one thing I appreciate is that the UFC trusted me with this main event. I think they were trying to see, who's going to step up. Is it Onama or is it Steve? Because you guys are right there. I'm 12, he's 13. I think they need those guys that they can trust. And so I think if they were to do like a Josh Emmett, it might not just be a co-main event. Like, okay, we can trust Steve and a Josh Emmett in a main event, at a fight night somewhere. You know what I mean? I think that makes more sense than, if I didn't have the main event, but still trying to push somebody. I think it's a little bit harder for the UFC to kind of like get on board with some of that stuff. So I'm glad I was able to kind of prove my worth. I'm like, this kid can actually hold down a 5-round. I know I didn't go 5 rounds, but a main event.
Even better.
Yeah. But that's even better because you didn't need to. And that kind of goes back to what I'm going to ask. So 6 out of your 7 wins are all stoppages. And most of them, I think, inside the first round. Only one of them went to 2 of them went to a second round, but still, they're all quick finishes. Yeah. Paul mentioned Jean Silva a second ago. And I'm not trying to stir the pot here or anything, but is that seeing how fast he rose and he ran through the rankings and became this big star? And there was talks that if he was to beat Diego Lopez, that he would have got a title fight. Did that kind of piss you off a little bit? You're like, I've been here all this time. I'm doing this fucking work. I'm getting the finishes. And this guy's kind of jumping the line. Did that piss you off?
Of course, man. It's just irritating. It's irritating. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, like, and this is the thing is that you guys have watched me from the bottom. I was literally the first fight on an Apex card. You know what I mean? Like I was the very, very bottom. I finally just got to headline this card, right? Which is great. But I've literally climbed and clawed my way up from the very bottom. Everybody along the way, I've had to knock them all out just to show everybody that I'm the real deal. And like I said, I just had to become undeniable. There was a couple of hiccups there. I had to figure it out. Like I'm not perfect. I this fight game's crazy as it is, but I was like, Steve, like you in or you out? You're gonna show up tonight? You're not gonna show up tonight. You're gonna go out there and beat this guy, or you're not gonna beat this guy, because don't waste your time. Don't waste everybody else's time. Everyone wants real fighters. They want to see the real deal here. So what are you gonna do? And so I was like, all right, let's freaking go. You know what I mean? Let's put on some shows for these guys. Let's go out there and it's got me a couple bonuses. You know what I mean? And that was like the other benefit of getting knockouts, right? So when you're starting off, you don't have the highest pay. So I felt like the only way I could really make money was getting the bonuses. And obviously it benefits my family if I can get that. So it's always a win-win when you win. So
yeah. Of course. Saturday night, you had some very powerful and kind of heartbreaking words as well on the microphone about your good friend that passed away. He said he was going to be at the Apex. I'm sorry, I forget his name, Steve. I don't mean to be disrespectful. Can you just share a little bit about that and I mean, and the words that you said? I mean, it was heavy stuff, man.
Yeah, man. It's Charlie Kirk. I mean, I'm sure you guys.
Oh shit! You're talking about Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk,
shit.
Yeah.
My bad.
No. It's all good. He, he came to my church 3 weeks prior to him getting assassinated, and so we had talks. He comes to my church a lot, like almost every year he comes to my church and we hang out. We'll have conversations in the back and stuff. Got to know the guy really good, introduce him to my family and stuff. Dude's freaking tall, pretty athletic. Dude, I'll tell you what, man, he's such a good dude. And what was cool about it is I was there to see him, but he was more intrigued on what we do. He has no idea on what, our realm of what we do. And so he was asking, he's like, so do you guys call each other and ask each other how to fight or if they want to fight? And I was like, no. I was like, don't like that. I was like, they, we have a matchmaker and they match us up and it's always according to our records and stuff. So I almost had to go into detail, but he was so fascinated about just our stuff. And I tried to get him at the gym. He said, Mom, maybe next time. He wasn't too about it, but, going back to the situation, what I was kind of talking about was when I think it was Nelson. And I had talked to him and he's like, hey, man, he says, if you give me a shout out, Donald Trump a shout out, I'll post you on X. And that was our first deal. So I went out, I beat Nelson and I texted him. I was like, hey, bro, I was like, how minded the deal, man? I was like, where you at? And he's like, bro, I'm writing up right now. And he gave me a shout out. So I was like, sweet. So then he came back. Like I said, this was probably he's been dead probably about over a month. So a little bit over a month and a half ago, you know, like I said, we had more conversations in the back of my church, and he's like, Steve, he says, I don't, he's like, when are you fighting next? And I was like, I'm in the works right now. I was like, it should be November. And he says, I want to go. He says, I've never been to a UFC event. He says, I do know Dana. He says, he seems like he's a good dude. I respect him a ton. He says, I'd like to be there. And I was like, for sure, bro. I was like, it might even be at MSG because I thought that's where it was going to be. Yeah. And he's like, oh, okay, very cool. And so he says, as soon as you get the call and like keep the dates and stuff, let me know. He says, I'm gonna reach out to Dana and then I'll try to see if we can work something out so I can be there. And I'm like, bro, say less. Like, let's freaking make it happen, you know? And then all of a sudden, freaking 3 weeks later, this dude shoots him because he didn't agree with him. You know, it was just like it sucked, man. It sucked, dude. Like I almost didn't believe it. You know, I was literally finished shooting up wrestling practice, and because a lot of my teammates know that, like I know him, and we're buds and stuff. And he's like, dude, like you don't believe this, but someone just shot him, and I was like, oh my god, dude. I was hurt, man. And I wasn't like the closest to him. I don't want to say like we're best friends, but man, like when you have an acquaintance and someone comes down and visits you, you know, and they welcome you and you welcome them, like it's just like you start to develop this friendship, and it was an ongoing friendship, you know, a couple years and stuff. It was a sad day, you know.
Yeah, I'll say. I'm not trying to get too political here, but obviously heartbreak.
Yeah.
But what did you make of all these scumbags online kind of celebrating it and mocking it and stuff? I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, what is going on in this world?
Those are the people that are the problem. If you think that nobody, like for me, in my situation, Democrat, Republican, you can be whatever you want. You can have your opinion, but at the end of the day, you should be able to go home. You should be able to be with your family. You should be able to have those discussions, and we should be able to, you know, have debates. We should be able to do it, but like it should be like fair play. Like we should all be cool. Like we should be able to dab each other up afterwards. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to be the best of friends. We don't always have to agree with everybody. But at the end of the day, I was like, this is where we're getting to. Like we have to kill each other to shut people up. Like I was like, that sounds like a third world type of situation. I was like, we live in the United States of America, one of the best countries in the whole entire world, at least in my personal opinion. But that shit shouldn't be happening. That should not be happening. We can all agree with, I think, that, you know, let's not kill each other over our opinions.
Yeah, you would think that's somewhere that we should all be in agreement with, but it's definitely.
And this dude had a mic, bro. He set up a tent and he gave someone a mic. That was not violent. It wasn't physical, nothing. I'm like, he literally was giving people just like stuff to talk to, you know?
Yeah.
Crazy.
You're right. Even if you don't agree to the fact to go out there and do that, and you had a chance to argue with him whenever you want it.
Exactly.
He was that kind of guy, you know?
I hope I'm not prying too much. Oh, here's Merab. Here's the champ.
Oh, look at this guy.
I'm going to go off down a rabbit hole there. What is the latest, you know, kind of theory on what actually happened? Because I'm seeing things about an exploding microphone and things like that. What have you heard? 1 minute, Merab. 1 minute, brother.
Yeah, I've heard Candace talk about it. Candace is going off on a freaking tangent, man.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what to believe anymore because there's a lot of shady shit that happened, dude. There's a lot of shady shit happened, and then there's like obviously like the dude saying that he put the gun back together. It was like a rifle. I think it was like a 30-06. Dude, to disassemble that gun and to carry it in your pocket and not get noticed, dude, that's very unlikely. If you're on the school campus and you see someone with a freaking rifle, you're not reporting that. Dude, that's one. That's like a red flag right there for sure. And two, I don't know if he never wore a bulletproof vest, but I'm like, you probably should wear a bulletproof vest. There's just a lot of weird stuff. The person hopping on, he took like the camera like right behind Charlie. I think Candace got that footage and stuff, and they're like, why is this not out there? You know, this is actually not that bad of an angle. You know, there's not a ton of blood. There's none of that. And so there was just a lot of these crazy theories. And I'm like, bro, like at the end of the day, it sucks because that dude had 2 babies at home. He has a daughter, he has a son that, you know, he'll never get to walk his daughter down the aisle, or he'll never get to, you know, go to the birthdays anymore. Like, that shit sucks, dude. Like, that's where I feel for him. I'm like, I can't imagine, because I have kids of my own, you know what I mean? And man, bro, just those kids have to grow up without their dad. Like,
it's truly heartbreaking. as you can see, we've got Merab waiting. Steve, thanks for your time, man. Congrats on all the success. I mean, dude, you are a killer in there, and I absolutely love it. Can't wait to see your next fight. Keep doing what you're doing, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you for your support, guys. Yeah, definitely. All right, you guys take care.
You too, buddy.
My man. Thanks, Steve. Delicious, guys. Delicious. These are that I'm eating right now. Vandy potato crisps, and they are part of a growing movement to bring back real food, the kind that our grandparents were raised on. Vandy Crisps, potato chips, whatever you want to call them, they contain just 3 ingredients: 100% pesticide-free potatoes, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. No seed oils, no mystery chemicals, just real food. And the best part is, hold on, the taste absolutely amazing. Snacking on Vandy Crisps is nothing like eating regular chips. You feel satisfied, light, and energetic with no crash, bloat, or gross, sluggish feeling afterwards. And because these chips are made with real food, they are more satiating, so you won't find yourself uncontrollably binging and still feeling hungry afterwards. Now, this one right here is my favorite. This is the French onion, but they also come in herbs de Provence and smokehouse barbecue. I love Vandy. You're going to love them. If you love Vandy, then you're going to love Massa chips also. Massa, Vandy's sister company, makes the most delicious 3-ingredient tortilla chips that I have ever tasted. You're going to give these a try. You will not be disappointed. Don't poison your body. Don't put chemicals in you. Don't put seed oils in you. Eat treats that are good for you, made with 3 ingredients. Ready to give Vanda or Massa a try? Use code BELIEVE for a massive 25% off your first order at vandycrisps.com or massachips.com. Don't feel like ordering online? Vanda and Massa are now available nationwide at local supermarkets like Sprouts. Stop by, pick them up, grab a few bags before they're gone, because these are amazing. There we go. 3rd time's a charm. How are you, brother?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Listen, you ain't good. You are flying. You're on top of the world. You're one of the biggest stars in the sport. You're going to defend the belt for the 4th time. You're a social media sensation. You're a world champion. You're a bloody legend. Life is good for Merab Dvalishvili right now.
Thank you, Mike, for sure. Yes, I'm grateful for everything. Yeah, life is good, but I am in new camp, and I'm grinding again. You know, I'm working hard, and I'm humble. You know.
Merab, I got to ask you, from a guy who's always training, always staying active, right? You love the grind. You love to be doing this stuff. What is the difference? What changes for you when you go from training the way you train just always to I have a fight? Does much change for you, or is it just that you have a goal now and you have an opponent in mind?
Nothing changed. Yes, I always have the same goal to just to be better. Always like get better everywhere, like either striking, grappling, or whatever it is. Like just get better. But when I don't have a fight, different is I miss fighting. You know, I miss to have an opponent. I miss to, you know, and now, like yes, like after the fight, I take another fight, and I'm in the cap. It's like thing is, it's the same thing. Nothing really changed. But sometimes, you you guys know, when you are UFC, just waiting. You just tired. Yeah. You know, you wanna fight. That's the only thing changed for me. I don't wait now. Since I'm champion, I actually tell Hunter, like, I want to be busy, and please, like, keep me busy, like, and then now he's keep me busy, so now it's good. It's good for me. Only one thing changed. I don't miss, like, I'm not this. I'm like not pressured to. I don't have fight now. I'm happy actually that I'm busy.
Oh, yeah, listen, we got to stay busy. You only get one prime, even though I saw that you want to fight until you're 50, which is crazy. But talk to me about, it feels like, I think I saw this somewhere, you know, the UFC maybe were a little slow to really realize what a star they had. Obviously, you were on Dana White Contender Series, looking for a fight.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and then you go out there, you're beating all these people. And then now finally I think the world knows that they got this huge superstar that wants to fight all the time, and now I feel like you're getting the love that you deserve. How does that feel?
Feels very good, of course. But I understand UFC and all the people, because I wasn't like I was making a lot of mistakes. I was not like a flashy, maybe like not like a not good looking guy, something like that. So and but the good thing is I earned it. Everything, I earned it. Like I was trying to get better, and I was willing to get better, and then now here we are. Yes, I am champion. I defend couple times, and I want to be busy. Even doesn't matter what's gonna happen my next fight. I love fighting. Like I mentioned like before interviews. For now, like even you mentioned, I want to fight until 50 years old because I love it. Like for now, that's how I feel it. I want to fight, but who knows? Exactly. Who knows future? But for now, I love it. I enjoy it, and yeah.
And just in terms of the next fight, right now that you're in camp and you're preparing for December, Merab, a rematch, right? A guy you've already taken out. You've done that before, and then you've been even more impressive in that rematch for Sean O'Malley, for example. Okay, take him to decision, beat him handedly. Then you come out and you finish him in the second fight. Do you feel this is another opportunity for you and Petr Yan, a guy that you've already beaten, but this time, do you feel like you can do it even more impressively the second time around?
Yes, that's the goal. First fight, I was like nervous, stressful. It was like another pressure to fight against Petr Yan. And now I'm more mature. I think. But I don't want to be too. I'm comfortable now, but I don't want to be too comfortable because, I'm sure Petr Yan will fix his mistakes. What he made in the first fight, the biggest mistake he don't respect me in the first fight. He was thinking I wasn't able to do anything against him. But that was biggest mistake. He don't respect me, and then whatever I was better at, I'm sure he will fix it, and I have to be even better version. That's what happened against Sean O'Malley when Sean O'Malley mentioned he should be 70% better, and I tell myself if he's 70% better, I have to be much better than him, and that's what. Also against Sean O'Malley first fight, I just want to win the belt, and then I was very smart and game in first fight, and I don't show everything. But second fight, like I was already champion, and even if I lost and take a risk, I don't care because I already I already catch the belt, and because we know a lot of good fighters like including yourself, Paul, like a lot of good guys, but they never come champions. So I wanted to win the belt once, and after I can I can enjoy it. So and then, so what I was going to say, like second fight rematch against Sean O'Malley, I was more free. I was more like more taking more risk, more chances and stuff like this. And I think that's the goal to against Petr Yan, just show even more myself and my more good techniques and stuff like this.
Well, because now you can enjoy yourself. There's less pressure.
Right.
You've done it. You've become the champion. You've become a legend. You're defending the belt for a fourth time. You're making history. You've got millions of dollars in the bank. Life is good, So now it's like, hold on a minute. Let's enjoy and embrace this moment. As I said, fighting against Petr Yan for the second time, defending the belt for the fourth time in a calendar year. I know your manager is Danny Rubenstein, right?
Yes.
I was talking to Danny in Abu Dhabi, and Danny was telling me that it was very important to you. And you sat down at the UFC offices and were like, listen, I've got to have this fight. I need this fight. I want to make history. Why was it so important to you, Merab?
Because first, it was good opportunity to have a record in my resume. And the second thing is, the next big cards was like the realistic was in me fight in March. And I was supposed to take off this November, December, even January. Like we have Christmas, New Year, and I was supposed to travel a lot. And I have a lot of friends who asking me to go there, and then it's hard to say no to things and opportunity when you don't have a fight. And I don't want to get fat. I don't want to get lazy. I don't want to get distracted. And there is so many things distract me now.
Oh, buddy, I bet.
yeah, yeah. When I don't have a fight, so I wanted to be like I wanted to have a fight this way. I will say no to this distracts, and then so now I'm still here in Vegas and just keep doing like every day, like my lifestyle. Just training and trying to deal with everything else.
So after this one, though, will you go and do some travel and enjoy yourself for a little bit after you've defended the belt 4 times in a freaking year?
Yes. Mark Zuckerberg asked me to training with him, and of course I will take this opportunity too and go, visit him and training with him. And then Christmas. There is Christmas. I don't know. I will either stay US or in the New Year. I wanted to go maybe to Spain to celebrate with Ilya if he don't have a fight, or if he has a fight, and maybe I will just go help some, just training with him a little bit, something like this. I will do like something important travel like this. I will try to stay away from the distractions.
The temptations is the word you're looking for, Merab. The temptations. You're a single man? Are you married or single?
No, my parents they together. We are three brothers.
No. But you have wife or no wife or girlfriend?
No.
You're living a good life. I want to be there at the party. Ilya Taporia, Merab Dvalishvili, throwing down, getting down in Spain, bro. There's a lot of distractions. I would love to be a part of that.
You are invited,
back
Mike.
to the
You are
fighting
invited.
stuff.
It's okay.
We'll talk about that stuff in person, not on a podcast. But you beat Petr Yan, right? Last time against Cory Sandhagen, you looked phenomenal. I mean, I thought you were going to finish him with the hands at the end of round 2. It was a beautiful fight. You've beaten a lot of people now that you're starting to lap the division. Is there any world where you might challenge Alexander Volkanovski down the line?
Yeah, right now I'm good where I'm at, and so number one, I have so much respect and love for Alexander Volkanovski, and I cannot never challenge him. He's great. As a person, as a fighter, as a father, and second, I have a tough opponent like Petr Yan, and after I'm sure UFC will have some opponent for me, and I want to focus for my weight class. And if UFC asks me, or if you really comes to think that if I really don't have a really top opponent in my weight class, and if I really beat everyone, and then maybe I go up, but I still don't want to say that I want to fight Alexander Volkanovski, but I would like to take some super fights, maybe up weight class or something like that. I can take some more challenges.
And I think more respect needs to be given to that too, Merab, right? Where in a world where anytime anybody wins the belt, they kind of want to jump ship, go to a different weight class. And you're a guy that's saying, no, I want to stay right here and I want to own my weight class. I want to beat everybody that's in the top 10, top 15 in my division. And, you don't see enough of that now. So, thank you for doing that, right? And staying the champion in your division and trying to lap people. And, I'm sure the UFC is grateful of that too, right? Do you feel that it's like, hey, we finally got a champion, wants to stay there, defend that belt. And not only do you want to defend it, you want to defend it as many times as you can. So do you feel the love coming back at you from the media, from the UFC itself? Do you recognize that that's not common anymore?
Yes, of course I do feel and see the respect and love from, yes, exactly, media, from UFC. Yeah. So, I make mad Dana White couple times, and I understand also why, because first
Why?
it's
Kissing Sean? Kissing
no,
Sean? The cut?
yeah, I think first time after I beat Jose Aldo, Joe Rogan asked me, "Oh, are you gonna fight your friend Aljo?" And Aljo helped me to preparation against, Aljo is my best friend, and to, of course, I said I was not like a diplomat, I said no, I'm never gonna fight my friend, and I guess then I don't like that, and that's first time like he was really mad, like about me, because yeah, I understand it's not I understand his perspective, but and it was, and so first time I think that's why, and the second time, yeah, I got cut. I posted in social media before big fight, and after I beat Sean O'Malley, biggest start, and stuff like this, and then I don't know, and but now, we all see that he was always nice to me. He was always respectful for me. We really never have a like. Of course, I have so much respect for Dana White. Because of Dana, we have UFC, and we have this great organization that we all, we all, if not Dana, we all know how
We don't
to
have
job.
jobs. Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
have jobs.
exactly. Yes. So, and yeah, I have a good relationship with Hunter as well, and then he, he we always like we always have a nice respectful conversation, and I'm grateful for, of course, UFC.
Of course, as we all
Yes.
are. Petr Yan, talk to me about this guy. Is there a bit of beef? Are you guys talking shit online on Twitter, or is it just playful banter leading up to the fight? Do you get what's going on here?
Yeah, first fight, it was organic. I don't like the guy because he was bully. He was talking shit for my friend Aljamain Sterling. He was talking shit about me, and stuff like this. It was really organic. I don't like this. But now after I win against him, and then after, I was cheering for him every fight. Every time he win, oh, let's go, you win, Peter. Like, I don't know. Now I look a little bit different. He's a good fighter, and then a good father as well, and I have respect for that. And 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 he's pretty respectful for me. It's hard to be mad against him now, but I have to be. I
You'll
have to
find
be.
a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Merab, are you going to be sparring 5 rounds again before you take on Petr Yan in December? I know it kind of got all over social media. I think John Wood and maybe Khalil Roundtree were talking about your warm-up session before your fight on fight night. How hard is the sparring that you do when you do those rounds? Because a lot of fighters do rounds to warm up, to get ready on fight day, to shake out the weight cut and stuff like that. But how hard do you go the day of the fight when you're training?
Yes. So, like you said, Paul, yeah, before the fight, we all do like morning shake out, or whatever we call. And usually fights it's in some other states and hotel, and yeah, usually we are warming up in a hotel. Like, we don't even have sometimes mats because they take to arena, and it's hard to warm up in morning. And I always do my best. I always try to like grabbing, wrestling, like sparring. But I really never have a time, or when I get tired, I stop. But so fight was in Vegas here, and then of course the morning morning shake out, or whatever it's called. I did morning warm up. I did in my gym here in Syndicate, and so I called my 2 training partner, and now we have a time. We have a cage, and I said, we go live, because it's always for me. It's easy to go live.
The best.
Drilling, and it's like
Yeah,
don't hit me
especially
here.
right before the fight. Yeah, you're amped up. It's almost easier to just go
Right.
live.
Yeah, exactly. And then those guys also top guys, and we was partying, it's happened organic too, because I do every Saturday like this, and then it was nothing different than other days. And yeah, exactly, and in our fight, we have again in Las Vegas, and I still have a syndicate here, cage and the timer. I'm going to do the same, yes.
Yeah, nice. Will never change. Last question. All this social media stuff, the jacuzzi just recently, the picture back in the day, I think you had Sean O'Malley and Petr Yan all in the car. There was like a party going on. Who comes up with the ideas for all this stuff?
It's usually my ideas, and I have a guy who helping me with editing, but it's usually my idea because it's easy to make fun of myself and my opponents,
Yeah. You gotta have a little fun. You gotta, because it's not even anything nasty. It's just a bit of fun. You're talking a little bit of shit, whatever, but it's fun.
Exactly, because at the end of the day we're gonna fight each other, and best guys will win. So long as I'm not undefeated. Nobody's we all lose some points in a gym or some now. Yeah, I'm a UFC champion, but I do jiu-jitsu rounds. Of course, somebody submit me. And sometimes not now happen. It haven't happened now, but maybe 2 years ago, some girls was submit me to in the jiu-jitsu. So. But exactly like you said, it's no problem to make fun of each other, especially our opponents. We are fighting each other. It's positive, I don't look.
No, exactly, and it's part of the job. I used to love it. You got to fight, talk a little shit. The fans love it. You love it. It gets you ready. Merab, thanks, buddy. I know you've just been training all morning. Go and enjoy. Go and relax. Good luck in a few weeks where you're back in the cage again, which is crazy. You're the man. Thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Merab. Thank you, Paul.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, no, he had a phone call, I reckon. Now he was just saying goodbye.
Blurry? I was blurry on the 3-shot.
It looks okay to me. It looks okay.
Right,
well, that was 3 solid interviews back to back to back.
Yeah, that was smooth.
Harrington didn't have to put anything in the notes, but he did do a phenomenal job. Harrington, are you there? Brian, are you there? Let's have a quick four-way conversation before we get to some questions. Anything else that we need to get to before we do questions, Mike?
Well, I mean, just the at DBX, we talked about a little bit for the John Jones thing, but the main event was Gable Stevenson. Pretty devastating knockout against some guy who looks like he works at Home Depot. But he did shout out Mick Maynard and say, he's looking far beyond something like DBX and does see himself as a future UFC champion.
Yeah. This was a solid knockout. I tell you what was a little questionable. I mean, get him in the UFC. I'd love to see him in the UFC. Mark Zuckerberg training with Alex Pereira. I mean, whoa, what a takedown on Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Okay? And he says,
Brian,
are you okay?
Roll the tape. Is that what he said? Is that what he said to him? Nice. Wow. I mean, some high-level skills on Mark Zuckerberg.
Hey, there's a fight at the White House coming up. I don't know if you heard about it, but let's get him an opponent. Who do we want to see Zuckerberg fight? Let's ask that. If you guys could pick one person that he fought, not an actual UFC fighter, but just somebody in the world, who would you have him fight?
Well,
I'd have him fight Bill Gates.
CM Punk. You said
Dana was on CM Punk. Hey. Dana was gonna remember Elon Musk versus Zuckerberg at the Coliseum. There was talk of that a while ago. Sign it up. Send the contracts. Send the contracts. Send the contracts and send the questions to be.
Elon would have to get in shape. He'd have to
lose a few pounds. He'd have to lose a few. If you got a question, send it into bympod@gmail.com. Big thanks to all the guests today. Thank you very much. We do listen because a lot of times people say the guests, they kind of jump in like Paul and Michael. You guys are having a great conversation, then a guest jumps in. But, we do like to get the guests on here and there and have a bit of perspective. So let us know in the comments as well. Anyone else that you'd love to see us get on. I think we need to speak to a Herb Dean or a Mark Goddard and just talk about the whole IP.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm going to reach out to those guys for next week, maybe. But as I said, if you've got a question, bympod@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, all that jazz, all that good stuff. Brian,
hit
what
the
do we
hype
have?
button if we got one. I don't fucking know what that
Hit the hype. Do we have a hype button?
We might. Shit.
Hit that bitch. Let's go.
This one is for Dennis from Denmark.
Hey, BYM. Dennis here from Denmark. First time questioner, long time listener. I was wondering, obvious question. I think so. Aspinall and Cigar. Talk to me about the paychecks. Is it only show money when there's no contest? Do they still get pay-per-view cuts? How about next time? Is it the same? Do they get paid again, or is it going to be a 2-for-1 deal? What's going down? Thanks for the content.
Yeah. No, thanks for the question. Yeah, I mean, it's a fair question to ask. Whatever the contract would have been for the show money, they would have been paid because they showed up. It ended uneventful, as we all know. It was a no contest, but that doesn't mean it was a no show. They showed up, they stepped foot in the octagon, the fight started, whatever. You know, I saw reports online that Tom got 3 million. I don't know where they're getting that from, but whatever they were contracted to get, they would have got. In terms of pay-per-view points as well, whatever pay-per-views were sold, if it reached that threshold to where they get some, they'll get that as well, you know. And going forward, the next fight, I would assume the contract will be exactly the same. You know, it's just kind of pick up where they left off and go again. Right, Paul?
Yeah. I mean, and again, you know how it is. All these contracts are different with each individual athlete. So, yeah, whatever their arrangement is, they've got to be paid whatever that would be. And I mean, for a guy like Tom, it may not even be like a show win. It might be a big flat rate, or he might have a certain number up front and then a certain number on the end. But yeah, I mean, the fight went. It happened. So they got to get paid. But I'm sure there was some money lost for both guys, especially for Ciryl Gane as the challenger. I'd imagine he has a slightly more standard contract, although it be a lot of money, or he might have a flat rate. I mean, some guys have flat rates. Some guys are show. Some guys
it's always, but I mean, for Tom was the champion, but for Ciryl, it was the opportunity that really cost him. I remember Rebecca was like, you know, when I got a title fight, right, you're going to retire now. I'll keep it quick. And I was like, no, if I win, no, because now I'm the champ.
Now I'm getting paid.
Now I start to make I was always getting paid well, not bitching, but now I get to make some real money, you know?
Yeah.
And that was the opportunity that Ciryl had. And of course, he got off to a good start as well, you know? But thank you for the question. Brian, any more?
We got 2 more. This one is from Greg.
Oh, Greg.
How's it going, guys? Big fan of the show. Let me just start by saying, Michael, I hated your guts when you started your career, but no fighter's made a 180 like you did and became one of my absolute favorite fighters of all time. You're a legend of the sport, and thank you for everything you did and sacrificed. Same to you, Paul. You're a freaking beast, dude. That Stevie Ray fight is still one of my favorite fights of all time. I loved watching you out there, man. Always look forward to your fights. I have 2 quick questions. Number 1, do you guys think that John will be a little more open to fighting Tom since the Ciryl fight? Depending on what happens with the rematch, of course. And number 2, do you think UFC will maybe push a little harder to adopt those Trevor Whitman gloves? I know they had some financial disagreements, but I think those gloves would really be a game changer and maybe prevent any more spoiled main events. That's it. Thanks.
Go ahead, Paul.
As for the first question, that was something I was going to bring up earlier, where I think, I don't want to say he's going to, you know, duck him again, but I think there'd be more willingness, especially if the rematch goes kind of back and forth and it's a competitive fight. John's that kind of guy where he's going to be like, all right, if he sees any kind of hole or weakness that he thinks he can exploit, to be more willing. But again, it still doesn't change the fact that he ducked him when he was the scary, crazy guy, and he still is. Who knows what Tom's going to come back and look like in that rematch. And as far as what was the second question about the gloves? Man, I don't think it's the gloves. I think it's people. I think it's the people. And I think you agree with me on that one, Michael.
Yeah. I think it's going back to the Jones thing. I mean, look, listen, MMA math doesn't stack up. And certainly when you look at this, right, John is a tremendous wrestler. He always was. He took people down. I'll never forget when he took down Matt Hamill, right? He took down Matt Hamill easily. And obviously he got disqualified with the elbows. But I fought Matt Hamill and I trained with Matt Hamill on The Ultimate Fighter 3. And I know how good of a wrestler and how ridiculously strong he was. And I'll never forget Jones taking him down like that. And me just thinking, holy shit. If Jones is taking him down like that, then he's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Styles make fights. But there will be a little part of John that goes, well, I beat Cyril pretty easy.
Yeah.
You know, so there's always that. And the gloves. We've spoke about that until the cows come home. So, and Paul said it best. One more before we'll go about our business, go about our days. No commentary for me this week, Paul. Or are you?
Yeah. I'm off to Vegas Thursday. I'll be
Bonfim versus Randy Brown. Bonfim.
Yeah.
It's a very good fight. I don't know why now I'm talking French, but
it sounds French. Right? Bonfim.
Yeah. Matt Schnell versus Joseph Morales. Tisha Pennington taking on Denise Gomes. Adrian Yanez versus Christian Quinones. Ricky Simon versus Jaime Barcelos. Haider Amil taking on Jamal Emmers. Christian Leroy Duncan. Marco Tulio. Chris Padilla. Ismael Bonfim.
How many fights?
Muslim Salikov versus Urosh Medic. This is a pretty decent fight card. Daniel Marcos versus Miles Johns. Decent. Jason McVeigh versus Robert Valentin from The Ultimate Fighter. Mayra Bueno Silva, otherwise known as
she what's her nickname? Chitara. That's
versus Jacqueline Cavalcante. And Josh Hokett, who got a lot of press last time out. He was talking some crazy shit after his fight, I believe. Remember that, Harrington? Paul?
No, I don't remember this guy.
Versus Max Gimenez. Is Harrington there, Brian? Josh Hokett was coming out with some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm looking it up now.
No, it's all right. You don't have to bring it up or whatever. But I remember last time he was talking about being a real man and this and that. And he was coming out of all kinds of I don't even want to repeat it and say.
Oh, he had the American flag bandana and the Randy Macho Man Savage sunglasses.
And he was talking about all kinds of shit. Anyway, whatever. There's a good little fight card for you that Paul will be commentating. Brian, third and final question, please.
All right. Well, now for something completely different.
Please.
Yo, what's up, believers? Daniel here at the Dark Side. You guys helped me get through the day with the podcast, so I appreciate you guys. But recently found out I'm going to be a father. My first time being a father, and I'm having a girl. I know you guys have beautiful daughters, and not really a question, but you guys could help me out, some advice, words of encouragement. I don't know how to feel. I mean, obviously I'm happy, but, just next steps and going forward. You guys are two people that I look up to, and I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Keep going at it.
Hold on, real quick. Brian, just Google Ibiza for the spelling. Ibiza final boss. Go images.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a Latino Ibiza final boss right there. Words of inspiration for our friend.
Hey, I've got 3 little girls. I think when you're a father and you're having a kid, especially for the first time, you find out a girl. I think a lot of people. This guy's haircut here is so much worse than our.
Do
boy.
another one, Brian. That's not the best one. There's another one. Just click a different image.
That one's good.
What about that one? This guy.
Oh, yeah.
The final boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's making a killing, this guy.
That haircut.
Go on, you were saying.
I think you're always pleasantly surprised when you start having daughters and how they can wrap you around your finger, and you're going to have a crazy connection with them. And, girls, it's just like when I was a kid, you become a mommy's boy. You can be all this kind of stuff. It's the opposite for girls. They can end up being daddy's little girl and their princess their whole life. So I think you're going to be all right, my man. Just embrace it and get ready to dress up in costumes and play make believe and play with Barbies and listen to a lot of talking. You will listen to a lot of talking when they're younger.
be prepared to have to restrain yourself from beating up any kind of boyfriends. Okay?
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
There was one in particular. Also, prepare yourself for the teenage years when the hormones kick in and the things in the body start happening and attitude changes and because if it was your son, you could give him a little clip round the ear, but you can't do that to your daughter. Not that I've ever laid a finger on my children before you all start in the chat. But most importantly, I'll say this: what a gift, what a blessing. Rebecca always says the same thing because we've spoke to people and, oh God, I'm so nervous. And Rebecca always says this, and it's so true. She says, all you got to do is love them. That's it. Yep. Just love them and everything else comes nice and easily. It's easy. We're all here on this earth, okay? Everyone's been through it. Do you know what I mean? People get all scared and the media hypes it up, or other people do, get ready for sleepless nights and all the rest of it. Bro, if it was that hard, there wouldn't be 7 billion people on the fucking planet, okay?
Yep.
Even the biggest degenerate scumbags that don't deserve kids, they can still raise children. You know what I mean? It ain't that hard. Don't stress it out, bro. You're going to be fine.
You're going to be all right, buddy. We're here for you. Hopefully he can send in an update whenever he has the child. Let us know how it goes. Send an update.
When his partner has the child. Although,
yes,
he might be. You never know.
2025.
2025, bro. Anything's possible. See you guys. Thanks for watching. See you next week.